What to do, everybody, the Who Dat Nation. It is the one and only Who Dat Davis here for you. And as always, if you don't know, you will know that over here, we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. And thank you for checking out this edition of the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast, where we are going to be doing a pregame show as the New Orleans Saints get ready to take on the Seattle Seahawks of Week 7 of Monday Night Football. It is Jameis Winston's first ever primetime game in a Saints uniform. It is going to be a very, very exciting and anxious game we got on our hands here because the weather conditions are going to be heavy. It's going to seriously impact the passing game and the kicking game with those types of sustained winds and wind gusts. What do the Saints need to do to get out of here with a W? Let's go ahead and talk all about that as we officially get down with the breakdown. The last time the New Orleans Saints were in Seattle was the 2019 season, as the Saints were on the road in Week 3 with quarterback Teddy Bridgewater under the helm due to Drew Brees suffering a thumb injury at the hands of Aaron Donald in Week 2 on the road against the Los Angeles Rams. The Saints got out of there in pretty convincing fashion. Teddy Bridgewater was efficient. He wasn't really lighting it up in terms of air yards, but he was very efficient. He protected the football. He got it in the hands of his playmakers and let them make the moves for him. Now, this is going to be a little different. The New Orleans Saints are going to be without Michael Thomas, who's still going to be a couple weeks out from making his 2021 season debut. The projection for right now is could be a couple of weeks. He might miss Sunday's game against the Tampa Bay Bucks, the Halloween game. Don't know yet. I will keep you monitored on that and keep you updated as much as possible. But the New Orleans Saints, if you guys haven't read the title down below yet, reinforcements have officially arrived for the New Orleans Saints, as the Saints have activated wide receiver Tre'Quan Smith, Marcus Davenport, and they have released Will Clapp. They have inactive Malcolm Roach. They have a lot of names here that are surprisingly inactive. I don't know why that is. The Saints have Marcus Davenport. They have Quan Alexander, Tre'Quan Smith activated from IR. They have released Will Clapp to make room for the reinforcements to set arrive, according to Nick Underhill. Remains to be seen what they means to do about that. There is a space right now on Twitter, but that's not important. What we're going to be talking about right now is some of these other moves that you guys probably aren't aware of. From the practice squad, they brought up wide receiver Kevin White, and they have just Josiah Bronson, one of the most sought-after defensive tackles in this year's undrafted free agent pool. Malcolm Roach surprisingly inactive today, so that's pretty much of a head scratcher. Malcolm Roach is a pretty decent run stopper, and even though you don't have Chris Carson to worry about, the Seattle Seahawks still have Rashad Penny, who is now activated off their IR list. So the first key to victory for the New Orleans Saints is, of course, stopping the run. They are the best right now statistically at stopping the run so far this season, giving up under 3 yards per carry, and they are 7th. They are top 10 in terms of rush yards per game. How that looks tonight without Malcolm Roach remains to be seen. I have not seen Josiah Brunson active in a Saints uniform so far this season prior to tonight. How he does is going to be very telling, as does wide receiver Kevin White, a former 7th round pick for the Chicago Bears, who has yet to not even get a single touchdown reception in his career. He's been bounced around all over the place, from the Bears to the Cardinals. The Saints ended up picking him up. Now they have activated him because wide receiver Deontay Harris is out with a hamstring injury. And Deontay Harris makes up almost all, if not most, of the New Orleans Saints passing efficiency in terms of overall yardages. The Saints have the worst wide receiver group in the NFL because of that. So having Deontay Harris unavailable for this game is going to be very telling as well. You're going to see a lot of run game, a lot of run support to really balance out the lack of firepower through the air. But Tre'Quan Smith coming back should help alleviate some of that because of the fact that they've worked a lot during the offseason. I mean, a lot. I've recently been hitting heavy on Tre'Quan Smith because he was supposed to be the guy that really shines. It's supposed to be his breakout year. You guys have heard me talk about that during the offseason. How he does tonight is going to be very telling. If there's ever a time to make a statement game, it is tonight against this very suspect Seattle secondary. Tre'Quan Smith and Jameis Winston literally spent all offseason working on a deep ball and getting that chemistry together as often as they possibly could. And Tre'Quan Smith does have that ability to get down the field with his speed and create some mismatches. He is a very sure-handed receiver once he gets the ball in his catch radius. Doesn't drop too many. He can catch the ball in traffic. He's got all the tools, but he just hasn't put it together due to injury, unfortunately. But early on in his career, he was faced up with the likes of Ted Ginn and Lance. I wouldn't say Lance Moore, but Ted Ginn was there, so he had to play down in the slot. He wasn't used to playing in the slot during his time at UCF, so I gave him a little bit of a pass in the first 2 to 3 years. But this is a must-have-it year for Tre'Quan Smith. He has to be able to put it together. If not, then I don't see the Saints bringing him back anytime soon, unless nobody else makes an offer for him. And that means if they don't,
what time the Saints on dog.
7:15, but we can't see it.
Okay.
Ramon, I told you yesterday they're on ESPN. We have to go over to Hans' place to see it.
Ain't that so?
Sorry, we gotta go over to Hans' place. Is he at home?
No, he ain't work.
I guess we're just gonna have to not watch it then, because I can't get it on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing my pregame show. It's Grandma, guys. You know the one with the bell? Yeah, that's her. She was asking about when the game starts. We can't get it over here because ESPN. So say hi to Grandma.
You don't have to do that.
Sorry, Grandma. I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's unfortunate, guys. But I will be keeping up with it on Twitter as much as possible to let Grandma know what's going on with the game and our boys. But it's still going to be an exciting time for everybody that's going to be watching the game in some way, shape, or form. Yes, Grandma and Grandma. Look, at some point, we're going to get ESPN, right? We're going to get ESPN at some point. We're going to watch the game together on Monday nights. But for now, let's get back to the main point at hand with Tre'Quan Smith. Like I was saying before, Tre'Quan Smith, this is a must-have-it year. And if he doesn't get it together, he doesn't pull it together, then that means the Saints are going to be letting him go in the next offseason. And assuming nobody else makes an offer for him, he might come back under a much cheaper deal, probably a 1-year deal, because he has continuity with this team. But other than that, it's all on what Tre'Quan Smith does this year for his future, as does Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport had his 5th-year option picked up, so he's good for another season. But this is a statement game for him as well. He started off strong in week 1 against the Green Bay Packers, but he ended up suffering an injury shortly after, and he's been on IR ever since. This is his first game back since week 1. Marcus Davenport needs to have a big game here. He could have been one of the most prolific pass rushers in the NFL if he just stayed healthy. He has not been able to stay healthy, and the weather conditions up there in Seattle is going to make it even tougher for him. How he does is going to be very telling as well. Not just with the 5th-year option coming up, but if he can, secure the bag for the New Orleans Saints as well. The offensive line of Eric McCoy and left tackle Teron Armstead, those two are back and activated. They're not activated. They never went on IR. Those two are back in the lineup. They're going to be active tonight, and that's a lot of good. That means a lot, guys. I can't overstate how important those two are to the success of Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints this year. Because what that means is there's going to be setting a lot more screens, a lot more play action. Setting up those tight end screens, the running back screens, and the protector is going to be solid for the New Orleans Saints as well. And that means Cesar Ruiz can shift back to his original spot at right guard. And ever since who's been working on right guard this entire offseason. So hopefully moving over to center for the time being didn't erase a lot of what he managed to do in the offseason and the confidence he gained during that time. Teron Armstead is huge. Is a huge addition, as is Eric McCoy, especially Eric McCoy for the fact that he calls protections at the line of scrimmage. He calls those protections. He's one of the best, emerging as one of the best centers in the NFL. So having Eric McCoy up there, I can see the interior being clean for Jameis Winston to throw from. It's going to be a very, very fun game. Very, very fun game. On terms of offensive production, Quan Alexander. Now, this is the intriguing part. You guys know I'm a linebacker guy. Quan Alexander is also active tonight for the New Orleans Saints. And what does that mean for Pete Werner? I have no idea what that means for Pete Werner. I don't know if they're going to split snaps or they're going to have Quan start majority of the snaps or Pete over Quan. We don't know yet. I would say, this is just me spitballing here, this is what I would do. Take it with a grain of salt, if you will. I would put Quan Alexander on a snap count. You're just getting him back off IR. He has the juice. He's hyped, but he's also injury prone. And Pete Werner has done really solid. He's done really well when he's been put when in place of Quan Alexander. You know, the first start was Zach Bond in week 2 against Carolina. Absolutely horrible. Not fit for that position. Not his fault. Dennis Allen and that whatever they got going on with Zach Bond, he's a little edge rusher. Because that can be a key. Zach Bond could be the guy to solve their outside linebacker problems. You know, you guys remember Kikasa. If you guys remember who Kikasa was, he was probably the most notable failure of an edge rusher, of an outside linebacker playing an edge rusher. Zach Bond could be the cure for that because he's made a living off of getting to the quarterback during his time in Wisconsin. I've said that many times already. Let Zach Bond rush the passer, and you'll see what he's capable of. I'm just saying. But back to Quan and Pete, like I said, I don't know. It's a very telling. I want to say telling. It's a very unique situation the Saints have here, and it's a good situation to have. You have 2 really good weak side linebackers for you in this defense, if they decide to rotate them in and out, then I'd be good on that. That'd be very good for the Saints. That'd be very refreshing for the Saints. Keep these guys fresh out there. Maybe use Pete on first and second down and Quan on third downs or an obvious passing situation because he's got the speed, he's got the coverage ability, and Pete Werner, he's got coverage and he can stop the run better than Quan. But in terms of coverage, I say Quan still has some beat just with the speed alone and experience, speed and experience. It will be very telling because they have to go up against Everett. You know, Everett for the Seattle Seahawks. He's a really good. Obviously, he's a really good tight end. He's not elite, but he's still a really good serviceable tight end who can really make plays for Geno Smith. And speaking of Geno Smith, let's talk about the Saints defensive line as they are going to be without Malcolm Roach, and in place of Malcolm Roach, we've got Josiah Bronson stepping in for Malcolm Roach. I have no idea why they're doing this. Very confusing on this. Malcolm Roach has been a very serviceable defensive tackle in terms of stopping and run. Not much of a pass rusher, mind you, but when you know what you have in Roach, the question is, what do you have in Josiah Bronson? What are you going to get out of him? And I believe Montravius Adams is still here. I haven't seen his name, on a waiver wire so far. So you still might have Adams still, and I believe Christian Ringo. I don't believe Ringo is here anymore. But yeah, very confusing. I'm not sure if Bronson's looked stronger in the pass rush compared to Malcolm Roach. If that's the thing they're going for, it's going to be very interesting to see how Josiah Bronson plays in this game. But if he can stand up to that, I would say that slightly below average offensive line, then I don't know. The Saints may have something there. They may just have something. But speaking of that Seattle's offensive line, pressure is going to be paramount if the Saints want to win this game pretty comfortably, because we saw what that offensive line looked like against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had a lot of interior pressure. They got Geno Smith off his spot. That made him uncomfortable. That's what they need to do tonight, is create that interior pressure. And who's going to get that interior pressure first? It's going to be Tanner Passino playing from the inside. It's finally going to be Shad Toto. We haven't seen much of him in the pass rushing game since 2019. He had a couple of flashes last season, but he hasn't really put it together yet. Can Shad Toto get some pressures up the middle? Can Josiah Bronson create something? Don't know yet. We'll find out, but hopefully that remains the case. And can Cam Jordan finally get going as a pass rusher? Can he get home? Can he create a sack or two or a sack opportunity or two for the guys he's playing with alongside on that line? If they can do that, then the Saints can be can run away with this thing pretty quick and hold it for however long. Marshawn Lattimore versus DK Metcalf. That's going to be a key to victory. Marshawn Lattimore is one of the best corners so far this season. Close second will be Trayvon Diggs. Lattimore doesn't have the interceptions, but he has the coverage ability and the pass breakups to dispute all of that. He's going up against a very physical guy and DK Metcalf, which means Tyler Lockett, whoever he's going to be up against, whether it be Bradley Roby or Paulson or Debo, that's going to be very telling as well. So we got the corners versus the Seahawks receivers. Can they win if they go man-to-man? You don't want to play zone coverage against the Seattle's team because they know how to play the zone. They know how to play the zone, especially Tyler Lockett, a very, very underrated receiver. How they managed to contain him is going to be very telling. If Paulson and Debo can do a very fine job at that, then it's going to be a boost of confidence for Paulson and Debo going into next Sunday. But let's hope we can get through tonight. Maybe they split snaps again between a Debo and Roby. They did that last. They did that back in weeks. Was it 5? Yeah, they did it in week 5 against the Washington football team. Excuse me. Week 5 against Washington, they split snaps between Roby and a Debo. Are they going to do that again? Most likely, because Tyler Lockett is a burner. He can get down the field, as can DK Metcalf. But the Saints secondary is coming into here fully healthy. Fully healthy is going to be a very interesting matchup. How they do defensively, I'm not too worried about the back end. This defensive line, that's what's going to be telling. It's all going to start up front. Let's read a couple comments here, and then we are going to, I would say, take one or two callers, and then we're going to get up out of here. I'm scrolling all the way up to the top. I'm confident. I have confidence in Jameis Winston with his experience. I have confidence too. I think Sean Payton's going to coach a good game. They're going to limit the turnover worthy plays for Jameis Winston, especially under these heavy conditions going into this game. A lot of rain, a lot of wind. Could see the short to intermediate stuff, which is what Tre'Quan Smith is known for. Kenny Stills, I mean, he might get going as well. I see him as an X factor in this game. He's due for a big game. Kenny Stills is due 2 weeks now for a big game. He had a touchdown pass called against the New York Giants that went for, I believe, 46 yards. That was called back because Troutman being held. I don't know if Nick Van Ness is back as of yet. I haven't seen his name activated, but if that's the case, you might see him against the Bucs. But the tight ends is going to be very telling as well. So I believe the experience of Jameis Winston alongside Tre'Quan Smith is going to be, I don't know. I wouldn't guarantee it's going to be big, but it could pay dividends in crucial got to have it situations, got to have it moments. B Con shouting out JT to you and yours. What's going on, man? Hey, I heard Laddie isn't playing tonight because of his hand. No, Marshawn Lattimore's definitely playing tonight. I haven't seen anything regarding Marshawn Lattimore being inactive on the inactive list. Let me see who I see here. Where are the inactives for the Saints? Where are the inactives? Let's see who the inactives are. 1 second, guys. Here we go. We got Deontay Harris, Taysom Hill, Ian Book, Dwayne Washington, Peyton Turner, and Malcolm Roach. Those are the names that are inactive for the Saints tonight. Nothing regarding Marshawn Lattimore. So he is going to be playing tonight, and that's a big plus for the Saints to have, right? You need Marshawn Lattimore out there to guard against the highly targeted DK Metcalf. He's put him a little bit of a security blanket for Geno Smith last time they were out there against the Rams for half a game and against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was that go-to guy for him and got to have situations. I see people shouting out to Grandma. Love it, love it, love it. Grandma shout out. Got Kay. What's going on, Kay? Love to see you. Glad to have you here. Got the OG, Jerry Poor, shouting out the Grandma. I'll make sure she reads all this, y'all. I'll make sure she reads all this after we're done. You got Grandma from Dada. What's going on, Dada? Good to see you. Jerry, plug the online link for online stream. Hey, I appreciate that. You guys can link that in my Twitter or into my social media. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and read down a couple more here. Traquan Smith, his low profile should be wide open with a touchdown from Robert Clark. What's going on, Robert? Always happy to see you here, brother. Let's hope so, because Traquan Smith, he's got to help out this receiving core. It's very, very banged up right now without Deontay Harris. He's got to show that he can have a big impact in this receiving core. He's got to have it. He's got to have it. So if he doesn't show up even just a little bit, then it's going to be very, very telling going forward. And this should be a good game for Smith, because the Seattle Seahawks secondary is not that great. It's not that great. He's going to be covered shadowed by Quandre Diggs, their number one corner. But other than that, he should do an okay job, especially if you're trying to find the zone. Reginald Williams, going on, Reginald. He says, what are your expectations for the running game? Do you think we'll see Dwayne Washington get in a few snaps? Dwayne Washington is inactive tonight due to an injury, so he's not going to be here. My sources tell me that Ty Montgomery has been getting a lot of work at the running back position this week. So we could see Alvin Kamara, Devine Ozigbo, and Ty Montgomery. Might see more Ty Montgomery than Devine Ozigbo, given that he started one game as a running back for the Saints last season in a closing out game against Carolina. He rushed for over 100 yards in that game. So you might see a little more Ty Montgomery than Devine Ozigbo. But no, we're not going to see anything from Dwayne Washington in this game due to injury. It's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. When he gets the ball in his hands, he can be pretty good. I'm going to say elite level, but he can be pretty good, pretty serviceable. Darrell Taylor acted this game. He was going into this game questionable with a neck injury. You guys watched the Seattle Seahawks game last week. He went down due to a scary neck injury. His head got caved in, not in a bad way. Just his head got caved in against the Seattle Seahawks, and he got carted off to the local medical center for Pittsburgh. But he's doing okay. Happy for him, but he is questionable. How that holds up tonight remains to be seen. He might be on a limited snap count, and if that's the case, then the Saints have to take advantage of that, because Darrell Taylor leads their team this year in sacks. So if they can limit him, then they'll be all right. Kevin White is active. Yeah, Kevin White is definitely active. You need Kevin White to have a somewhat decent game. I'm not expecting too much out of Kevin White, but the fact that he's going to be out there, hopefully we'll see a little something. A little Jordan Humphrey, he's not on the inactive list, so we should see him, get a couple of snaps out there as well. Those two, I'm not expecting too many. I'm not expecting too many things. I'm really not. I'm just going to keep it a buck with y'all. Yo, Aaron, let's run the ball, stop the run. I think Geno Smith is going to be passing the ball more than running it. Rashad Penny going up against that run defense for the Saints, I don't expect him to be doing much, even though I am kind of questioning the lack of Malcolm Roach in that department. He's been one of the better run stoppers for the team so far this year. But other than that, I don't see them running the ball too much. And if they do, then they're going to be in for a long day, because the Saints are so far the best in terms of stopping the run. They're going to be throwing the ball more. I would say they get Tyler Lockett involved early, because they know that they have a suspect CB2 between Bradley Roby and Paulson Adebo. And it's going to be very slippery turf. So it all depends on what Tyler Lockett has in terms of matchups. I don't expect DK Metcalf to be too much of a factor. I think Lattimore's going to hold him to, I'd say, less than 50 yards. I'd say 4 catches for about 4 for 50 or so. But, yeah, other than that, I'm not seeing too much run in terms of run game for the Seattle Seahawks. T Dirty, what's going on, T Dirty? Good to see you, brother. T Dirty says, "What up, Aaron? What up, Who Dat family? What's going on, man? Hope you're having a good day. Reginald says, I think Sean should have some screen play actions in there tonight where he sees Adams come in the box to blitz. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. You got to be able to take advantage of that over-aggressive style, the over-aggressive nature of Jamal Adams. In terms of when you see him in the box, that's going to be very telling. It's one of the most telling things about the Saints that they need to be looking out for offensively. If Jamal Adams is down in the box, he's most likely going to be coming off of the edge to blitzing, either blitzing the run or blitzing the passing. They have to find a ways to either audible if they need to audible, or adjust accordingly to account for him, because he can wreck a game if you leave him unattended. They should look at that immediately. That should be a prime telling thing for the Saints offensively, especially Sean Payton. But I have linked the link to all chats. If you guys want to come in, I'll take about two callers, because we gotta get ready to watch the game, assuming I get a link. But we're gonna call in, and get your thoughts out there, what you're expecting to see. I have the Saints winning in a close game. I have a winning in a close one just because of weather situations and the lack of firepower, unproven firepower so far this year for the New Orleans Saints. I think it's going to be like the spread. The Saints are a 4-point favorite in this game. I have the Saints win like 3. I don't think the Saints are even going to cover the spread, because they lose games they should win. And if Sean Payton ends up calling conservative, then that's going to be, a lot of problematic things. You can't let them hang around any longer than necessary. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, my man?
And it's been a day. But welcome to the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast.
Hope grandma's doing fine and gets better. Everything is good at the house, and you get ready for the game tonight. This game is crucial. We know that these two games will be telling for our team after a bye. It's going to be telling about Sean's new philosophy that he's probably had during the bye. Without Taysom Hill, I think this will give us a good look at what Jameis can do with the offense. He needs to really let Jameis cook, as the Seahawks will let Russ cook, but only a little because of the conditions. I hope that our defense, my main concern is I need our linebackers to mimic what the Colts did last night, punch the ball out and create turnovers to create a short field for Jameis.
Absolutely. Takeovers have been one of the things the Saints prioritize going into this year, creating opportunities for the Saints offense to gel as much as possible. They are one of the top 3 teams so far this year. I think they're number 2 in terms of overall takeaways. That's interceptions and fumbles put together. But I definitely agree with you on that, man. What is your score prediction for tonight's game? What you got?
Wow. And this is what I'm going to. This is my main key for the game for the Saints. Period. Win time of possession. Win the time of possession. And the kicker is going to be very important. I see this game probably going 16-10 in our favor. This game will rely on field position and accuracy in the kick game. Our punter, who has been playing marvelously, will have to play an immense role tonight in setting up field position for the Seahawks offense. If he can put them back at the 10 and let Cam and Davenport create havoc and let DeMario play in some coverage, because the key for me for the Seahawks tonight will be their tight end. Gerald Everett has not been getting a lot of hype, but if he gets loose across the middle, we're in danger. We're in trouble. So we've got to really make sure that we take away that running game and take away the tight end, because we're going to lock up. We're going to do our best against Metcalf and Lockett, but it's the tight end for me that's going to get us. That's going to probably have to define the game. But kicking will be again important. Defense, play great and play loose and play fast. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, hopefully he gets somebody thrown out the game, something in some type of way. But I see a 16-10 game. We need this game more than the Seahawks. We need this game because we have a lot to prove this season, that we're not just a Drew Brees dependent team anymore, that we can show people that I think this team can grow on the experience. I don't want to hold you long, but this team can grow on the experience from the last time they were in Seattle when they played with Teddy Bridgewater. If they go back to that game plan and play with special teams, getting a clutch touchdown tonight, it'll be helpful tonight that we win.
You said a mouthful right there. I can't disagree with anything you just said, man. Look, very knowledgeable guy right here, guys. Reginald Williams. I appreciate you calling in, man. As always, you're always welcome here on the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. Call in anytime.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Reginald Williams, guys, very knowledgeable guy. I expect the hell out of him. But I want to harp on what he said about this being an important game for the New Orleans Saints, and he's right. Not just to show the league that we're more than a Drew Brees dependent team. But also, it's because the Saints are still fighting for a playoff spot. If the Saints win this game, then they're still going to be in playoff contention. But if they lose tonight, then it's going to make it even harder for them to get into the playoffs. They're going to be listed out of the playoffs, off of the playoff bracket for the NFC, and they're going to have to win pretty much every game going forward. Because if you drop 3 games to NFC opponents, then you decrease your chances of making the playoffs that much more. So they cannot afford to lose to any NFC team for the rest of the way, unless it's very, very later down the line that you've already clinched the playoff spot, and it doesn't matter. But until you've clinched the playoff spot, you can't afford to lose to any more NFC teams, especially teams that you should be winning against. The Seattle Seahawks secondary is absolutely suspect. I'm not going to say terrible, but they're suspect. They held a Ben Roethlisberger-led Pittsburgh offense that has plenty of explosive players in their arsenal they pushed them to overtime. So, and that offense is more talented at receiver than what the Saints have. So they have to find, they have to find a way to win this game and win every game going forward without giving too many losses to NFC opponents. They can't afford to. Official don't know what's going on, man. Official asks, what's your score prediction? My score prediction is going to be 23-20. My score prediction is going to be 23-20. And that's going to, excuse me, I just ate. But that's going to be very stressful. Very stressful, 23-20. I say 23-20 if you weren't here earlier. It's because of the fact that the Saints are going in bad weather conditions with an unproven wide receiver core that has no continuity to him outside of Callaway and Harris so far this year. This is Tre'Quan Smith's first game back so far this season. This is literally his 2021 season debut. This is his season debut, Smith. So you can't expect too much out of him in the passing game. What if he goes off? Great, that's even better. But I don't have too much hope. And Deontay Harris is not out there. He's out due to a hamstring injury he suffered against the Washington football team back in Week 5. He's going to be out, I would say, probably until the Bucs game. Probably. And Taysom Hill's probably going to be back until the Bucs. Is going to be back at the Bucs game most likely. I think he was held out as well. So if they need to throw the ball, it's going to be about how these guys play against this secondary for these for the Seattle Seahawks. Kenny Stills, Kevin White, Tre'Quan Smith, Lil Jordan Humphrey, all of these guys, they have to find ways to win. You got to find a way to win. I don't care how they do it. You got to do it. But I think it's going to be a very, very close game. Very, very, very close game. Going to read a couple more here. I don't think we're going to get any more callers tonight, which is fine. We'll see you guys next time. So we got Hoodie Jew shouting me out. What's going on, man? I appreciate you sending that microphone. Oh, yeah, guys. Shout out to Hoodie Jew, man. He's been helping me out a lot. I wouldn't be as passionate as I am without guys like him, showing support. He mailed me a microphone. He mailed me something to help my podcast, with audio quality and stuff like that. Very, very grateful to have someone like Hoodie Jew looking over my six, man. Very good guy. You guys go check out his podcast at Hoodie Jew, man. Check out Hoodie Jew. Go search it on your YouTube bar and go subscribe to his channel. Please. This man right here, he's earned it. He's more than earned it. Elite Goods, what's going on, Elite? Good to see you. Said, I'm not doing a player pre-stat. Never again. Per Tony Jones. It sounds about right. It never works out the way we want it to. Speaking of Hoodie Jew, this is going to be our last caller for the day. Hoodie Jew, what is up, man? Good to see you.
What up, man?
Look, nothing much, bro. Nothing much. Well, hope your day's been a good one. So what you got for us?
Oh, well, I mean, I had to come pop on real quick. Show y'all a few things, just a few things. So, on my podcast over there, I was telling everybody, number one, we got to do the run game, We always got to keep that run game going this year. especially with Kamara, especially with the healthy O-line now coming back. So we should be able to run the ball a little bit smoother, But like I said, we don't know about Nick Vannett if he's playing yet. Hopefully he does, because I would love to see him out there. Because that would help out with the blocking for sure for run games. And then I told everybody we need to see our line, since they back and healthy, we need to see a really good pass protection. That's what we need right now. We need good pass protection for Jameis, give this man a little bit more time, because I told everybody, this ain't no Michael Thomas in them that's on the field that can get open easily. These are people that are upcoming stars that's going to look even better sooner or later, So I told everybody, if he can get a little bit more time to pass, I feel like we can get open, we can get better passes down the field. And then the last thing I told him, the key is defense, Defensive line's got to get pressure on Geno Smith, because I told everybody, I don't give a damn who your quarterback is, but if you give somebody time all day in the pocket to look for somebody's going to eventually get open, and they're going to eat you alive. And that's what I tell people. You got to get to the quarterback no matter who it is out there. I can be quarterback for the damn Seattle Seahawks, and I can kill my defense, my Saints defense apart if they give me all the day to pass the ball. And that's what I tell people. It don't matter how good your corner is. It don't matter if you got Lattimore, Ramsey, and all of them on the field at once. Somebody's going to eventually get open back there if you give them all the time in the world. So those are my 3 keys things. And another thing, I don't know if you see it right here in front of me that I'm talking into, this microphone right here. I was seeing it on Amazon, and I said, let me buy one. And then I was thinking of you, and I said, I bought 2 of them. So I'm about to ship yours probably this week sometime. Ship it to you.
That's crazy, man. Shout out to Hoodie Jube, like I said, man. One of the best, one of the upcoming ones here in the Saints media on YouTube. Like I said, you guys haven't checked out his podcast, go check out his podcast on Hoodie Jube. Search it up in the YouTube bar. Very knowledgeable guy. He does giveaways. He's one of the most immersive guys I know in the Saints community. Very lucky to have him as one of my supporters here on the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. He's always considered family here, as is all of you. Hoodie Jube, before I let you go, do you have anything else you want to say?
Oh, yeah, one last thing. I just got my jersey after I literally just went live. Then about an hour later, my jersey came in. So let me show y'all my little fresh jersey I just got,
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yeah. Hoodie Jew, half black, half white, gold in it,
Hoodie Jube got the merch, y'all. Jube got the merch. Check out. Go buy my man merch. Look at the merch, man. But man, Jube's got the merch. He's got the merch. Jube with the merch, man. Happy for you, Jube. That shit looks fire, bro. It looks fire. I like that. I like that on you. It looks good.
Hey, I like it too, and I told everybody, this is just a shirt that I seen online. They had people creating these jerseys and stuff. I think they from Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. That's where they make it and stuff. So I said, you know what? Let me try one of this and make it real quick. And I like it. And I said, I might have to start making some Hoodie Jew merch like this. And I'm going to ask them, hey, how much do y'all charge to make a whole thing of merch,
And you got people in the chat liking your merch. You might have to go ahead and link your stuff in the comment section. Let them go buy your merch at some point, man. I might have to buy your merch at some point because shoot, it was fire.
Shoot. Yeah, one day.
Yes, sir.
One day I'll get the merch out. But right now it's the Saints tickets. I think everybody will like Saints tickets better than my merch right now.
Absolutely. You can't never get enough of them Saints stickers. But before I let you go, Drew, go ahead and plug in your social media. Let everybody know where they can find you and talk shop Saints with you.
Yeah, if you want to find me on Instagram and stuff, it's Jubilis95. Also, I got another one that's Hoodie Jube. If you just look up Hoodie Jube on there, I also got that for the Saints content to give out. If you're looking for me on Twitter, Hoodie Jube on Twitter. And that's basically about it that I can really reach you. And also, let me give one big shout out to Mr. CT Crusher. Everybody loves him when he comes on my show and talks. He speaks the facts and everything. And also, he was our lucky winner today for the free Saints ticket. So he will be going with me on the Halloween night to see Tom Brady and them players. So congratulations to CT.
Shout out to CT, man. CT Crusher. My first time seeing him in the chat. Shout out to you, man. Congratulations on the tickets. Hope you guys have a good time at the Halloween game. I unfortunately can't go. I saw your question over on Twitter. I got the family coming over there. I'm going to be doing some trick-or-treating with them in the neighborhood. And they're going to come back. Or they're going to watch the game. So, unfortunately, I can't come. But I will be showing you my support here on the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast, as always, Hoodie Drew. So, you can go ahead and give my ticket away to another lucky winner. And I'll be sure to give my support, even do a shout-out video for them at some point. You just let me know who wins, and I'll get that video out to them ASAP.
Yep, no problem, man. And thanks again for having me on here, man.
As always, man. Call in anytime.
Yep, who that to you? And like
Who
you
dat?
always tell us, we all bleed black and gold, huh?
Until we dead and cold,
And
always.
cold.
Take it easy, Jude. Hoodie Jude, man. One of the best in the game. I love Hoodie Jude, man. I love talking shop, all things Saints with Hoodie Jude. Whether it be Instagram, whether it be Twitter. That guy is immersive. That guy is awesome and very passionate. I love talking shop Saints stuff with Hoodie Jude, man. And he's he's a very caring guy. A very caring guy who does so much to give back to his supporters. I'm very blessed to have a guy like him as one of my supporters. He's one of the more upcoming guys. I respect the hell out of him. I really do. But that's it. That's all for today's episode of the Black and Gold Breakdown Podcast pregame show. As always, I'm the boy Who Dat Davis here. Go ahead and hit up my Facebook page at facebook.com. Search Black and Gold Breakdown, or you're over on Instagram. Go ahead and search up Who Dat Davis over on the IG Instagram, or if you're over on Twitter, which is where I normally am, talking all things Saints or anything non-Saints related. You guys want to just talk shop in general? Go ahead and hit up my Twitter. My Twitter is at Real Aaron Davis. And all my Twitter handles are in the description below. And if you want to donate to the channel at any time, you're always welcome to. You guys have a Cash App. My Cash App is also down there in the description below. You guys don't have to even have to donate. You guys are always free to support just by watching my videos, watching my content, sharing me around to your fellow football fans, especially your fellow Saints fans. And make sure you hit that like button. If you guys haven't hit the like button already, please hit that share button and hit that notification bell. Hit that subscribe button. And you guys never miss a single moment of when your boy goes live with content. I will see you guys next time. As we tomorrow, we will go live with a post-game show regarding this Seattle Seahawks versus New Orleans Saints game. And for one more time for the road, if you don't know, you will know that over here we bleed black and gold until you're dead and cold. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the post-game show. Enjoy tonight's matchup Monday night, especially if you're watching the Manning stream with Eli and Peyton Manning. Drew Brees is going to be on there, I believe, in the second half. So enjoy yourselves, guys. Football's coming up and not too long.